Jess. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully out here in the lobby you can hear me. You do need to make your way inside. The program begins at 7. Unfortunately, you all have come late.
you wonder where I've been. I searched to find the love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in a daze from your love, you see. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
We're trying to get things started here. Once again, we thank you guys in advance for cooperating with us, but please make your way to your seat so we can get the program started. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Please welcome to the stage for your welcome, Mr. Glenn Banks. Flip it on the side. Should be coming up.
Testing. Oh, here we go. What's up, y'all? Well, look, earlier today on the ride, Ken Vincent, the organizer of this event, he said there was A claps, B claps, and C claps. And when y'all gave him a B clap, he wasn't happy. So I'm following Ken's tradition right now. I was not happy with that hey, y'all. So let's go with an A, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all! Okay, that's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, look, we want to welcome you to the All Clubs Gala. You guys, look, check this out. Y'all look good as hell. Look, y'all look good. Because I was on that ride today, and I'm telling you, some of y'all don't look the way y'all looked earlier this morning. Look, I bumped into somebody today. I said, was that you? But honestly, so my wife is over there. She's beautiful. I mean, my wife is gorgeous as heck. I'm trying to tell y'all, look, hey, look, man. Hey, she it. So all y'all single dudes, look, stay away. But check this out. When we started dating, the first date, I was surprised to see she had hair. Because she had a helmet on all the time. She took the helmet off, and I was like, dang, bruh. Gina. And I said the same thing about some of y'all today. Dang, man, that girl look, at some of y'all brothers, too. I was worried about her earlier because she hadn't seen me, and I was like, I hope she like bald-headed men because I'm bald-headed. But look, tonight, we want you guys to have a good time. We want you guys to enjoy each other. Before, we want to make sure we say thank you to one of our sponsors, Zwift, who's really been working with Ken and working with us on putting this together. Thank you, Zwift. We appreciate you. And we really appreciate you helping us getting our health together because Zwift physical is way than outside physical. Zwift will get you in shape, quick, fast, and in a hurry. But look, normally at black tie events, you hear people say, sit back and enjoy the show. But we're cyclists, so we don't want you to sit back and enjoy anything. We want y'all to get involved. We want y'all to be engaged. I know 99% of y'all in here could probably drop me on the ride. I know y'all can. I want to see if y'all can drop me doing the dance floor tonight. Hey! Hey, because we're going to drop it like it's hot, y'all. Look, welcome to the club event, the All Clubs event. Have a great night. Enjoy your meal. Enjoy each other. And enjoy your time. Thank you very much, and welcome to the evening.
take the highway that is best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles away. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. You get hip to this timely tip. Yeah, when you make that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? Oh, when you make that California trip, get your kicks on a Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. One more time. Get your kicks on Route 66. Thank you. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. Oh, in other words, yeah, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. Thank you. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking in. When she passes, each one she passes goes up. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when she passes, each one she passes goes up. Oh, but I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, I smile, but she doesn't see. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking. When she passes, each one she passes goes up. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when she passes, each one she passes goes up. Oh, but I watch her so sadly. How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Oh, tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, I smile, but she doesn't see. But she doesn't see. But she doesn't see. Des mots, des tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. C'est lui pour moi pour lui dans la vie. Il m'a dit la j'irai pour la vie. Dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat.
D. D as in dog. D as in dog. Dog, flat. Oh, way slower. Like, small. Can you give me the starting chord? Yeah, you guys should play through the A. Can you guys play through the A? Okay. You guys ready?
It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. Is it your sweet conversation that brings me the sensation? Oh. just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft light to enchant me. If you only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight and to feel you in the night. It's just the nearness of you. It's just the nearness of you. Thank you.
Okay. All of me. G.
Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I don't wanna lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Oh, your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. Oh, how can I go on dear without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take over me? Take over me. Take over me. I waited till I saw the sun. Don't know why I didn't come. I left you by the house of fun. Don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. When I saw the break of day, wish that I could fly. Instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hand. Heart is dressed in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. My heart is dressed in wine, but you'll be on my mind forever. Something has to make you run. Don't know why I didn't come. Feel as empty as a drum. Don't know why I didn't come.
As you're enjoying your wonderful dinner, please, there is a missing iPhone. If you find it, please bring it to the back tech table. There is a missing iPhone. Please bring it to the back tech table. Our program will begin next. Thank you.
So loud it's ringing in my ears. Deep breath to stabilize me. This time I won't give in to fear. Luck only works when it's what you make. It's an opportunity that you take, and this time I'm going all in, and I'm never gonna rest. I'm going all in, feel my heart beat my chest. I'm going all in. I close my eyes and focus and ground my feet firm on the floor. I visualize to see it. It's fine, I've done this all before. Luck isn't the kind of thing you leave to fate. Leaving it to chance would be a big mistake, and this time I'm going all in.
Vincent van Gogh once said, "Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. And great things are not something accidental, but must certainly be willed." Tonight, this is what I see as I look around. Great people who can do great things together, and it's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of the All Club's New Year's Gala, and I look forward to the amazing things that will happen in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles cycling community in 2022. I'm Edna Grace Cubillos, and I own Origin Clothing Los Angeles. It's a small company born in 2017, thank you, out of a desire to merge a love of fashion and a passion for cycling. Together with our daughter Veronica, my husband Marco and I created a line of cycling clothing that's now known for being a little crazy and a lot of fun. And crazy and fun for everyone. The Origin race team, Raising Cane's Origin, is proudly part of the Los Angeles cycling community. And in keeping with All Club's mission, our team fully believes that we are stronger together than we are apart. With that understanding, it's important to remember that we are not just people in Lycra on bikes. We're so much more. We're dock workers and dentists, and first responders and veterans, salespeople and students. We're sons and daughters, mentors and proteges, and neighbors and friends. And we're fighters and survivors, just like the one I'm so proud to introduce to you tonight. Nancy Lynn is an avid cyclist, research advocate, and philanthropist. After being diagnosed with relapsing polychondritis in 2011, she co-founded Race for RP and currently serves as chair of the board of directors for the RP Foundation. Nancy has dedicated her life to driving awareness in accelerating research for this rare autoimmune disease, and in the spirit of All Clubs, she believes that we are stronger together, as a collaboration between different disciplines and the sharing of ideas leads to progress. As a member of the PV Bike Chicks Women's Cycling Club, Nancy loves the strong sense of community that riding brings and finds it to be her greatest form of release from the day-to-day work of running a foundation and pushing for research. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud and honored to introduce to you Mrs. Nancy Lynn. Thank you, Edna. Good evening. What a pleasure it is to be here with old friends and new friends in the cycling community. Though little did we know we would be wearing masks instead of our helmets. My name is Nancy Lynn, and I am chair of the Relapsing Polychondritis Foundation, co-founder of Race for RP, a PV bike chick, and a believer in the All Club's mantra of community, unity, and diversity. Whether you're in a race car or on a bicycle, when you ride, you have got to go all in. You've got to be aware of yourself and your surroundings. You've got to be in sync with those moving beside you. You've got to be 100% in the moment. I see that all-in attitude reflected in Kenneth and everyone involved in All Clubs. Whether it's racing or recreation, advocacy or mentoring, or simply building community across a broad spectrum of people from different racial, social, economic, and belief groups, the overarching message is that we are one.
brought together by our common interests, made better through open and respectful dialogue, and strengthened by diversity. Everything we do off our bikes makes us better when we're on them together. As a cyclist with a rare autoimmune disease called relapsing polychondritis, an illness that destroys my cartilage, something found everywhere in all of our parts of our bodies, each ride is a challenge for me. And yet, that sense of community that is so unique to cycling, you all know it, compels me to keep going. In my personal journey to find purpose in the face of my diagnosis, I chose to dedicate my life to not just raising awareness about RP, but helping all autoimmune disease patients by pushing research to be shared across the medical and scientific community. The RP Foundation and Race for RP recently established the Penn RP program, a patient treatment and research program at the University of Pennsylvania. And we will have other research projects down the road. And while these very stressful, critical, and difficult decisions and plans are being made and put into motion, I find release by being on my bike. I'm so grateful to my husband, the Neil man, the team at the RP Foundation and Race for RP, the talented Denise Stephanie, who composed and sang and performed All In, and the PV Bike Chicks Cycling Club for always reinforcing the message to give 100% to the things that we do. And to Kenneth Vinson, where are you, Kenneth? And the All Clubs LA for bringing us here to celebrate. On this night to remember, may we make new friends, wonderful memories, and feel inspired to go all in and to make it a year to remember. Thank you.
Try, no matter how long that take. Yeah. This is so amazing. So much is different, but so much of me is still the same. And I remember when they doubted me, but we flipped it. Wisdom, and I'm never leaving the keys, 'cause I know what I'm worth. We know what we're worth. Yeah. 'Cause a real man knows a real woman when he sees her, and a real woman
makes a lot more sense for me to come up after that, right? Yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Shauna L. Howard, and I have the esteemed pleasure of introducing you to Miss Erica L. Erica L. is an esteemed community leader and financial professional. Under Erica's leadership as president, her cycling organization, Level Up Cycling Movement, has delivered over 400 trainings to beginner cyclists, curated over 10 cycling events, including Pedal with the Pros in Miami, a rider experience that exposes the toughest neighborhoods to pro cyclists, and has given away 150 bikes to children in surrounding communities, all while personally mentoring new leaders of cycling clubs around the country. Erica has created and launched Chocolate Pedals, a woman's ride experience, providing a safe place to nurture, connect, and celebrate women who seek out the tools of cycling in order to transform their new lives and the lives of their families for over 100 Black women. In 2019, she became the first Black UCI professional rider agent and launched Erica L's Pro Table Talk, providing a platform for minority racers to connect within their communities and fans by sharing their truths. In December, she released her first children's book, Erica's Super Bike Racer, that is currently being sold in many countries around the world. In all that she does, Erica's mission is to build space, community, and equity for women and minorities in cycling, and be an inspiration to all those who uncover the fullness of their potential. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Erica L.
Wow. Every time I see that video, I relive the magic of Chocolate Pedals. I relive every beginner cyclist at Chocolate Pedals and their experience to feel nurtured, their opportunity to connect with other women, and then they take that energy, that confidence, and they apply it to their lives. They apply it to their goals, and they just transform their families. They transform the communities around them. So I want to thank you guys for Rasan Bahati, All Clubs LA, Bahati Foundation, and Methods to Winning for inviting me to be here and to share a piece of my heart with all of you. And I disagree with Glenn when he said you guys look raunchy on the bike. You're actually pretty clean on the bike, especially here in LA. So I expected nothing short of that when it was time to get clean for the evening. So you guys, you look good. You all look really good. We are transforming into a time where cycling has now begun to embrace women. When I first came into the sport about 6 years ago, it wasn't that long ago, many of us didn't exist. And when I learned a little bit more about pro cycling, it just wasn't a great environment for women to be racing, especially on the world tour and a professional level. And right now, I can see, and you guys should be able to see, all of the transformation that's going on around you. So I encourage you men, as well as women in influential places, to continue to step up and get behind supporting each other and supporting women and their initiatives in cycling. These women at Chocolate Pedals, they went on to create their own rides. It's one Chocolate Pedal that put on a century ride for women. There's another one that put on a half a century for women. So they go on and continue the mission of Chocolate Pedals. They are a product of an environment that we created intentionally. I myself am a product of a bubble. So I want to tell you guys a story about a bubble. When I first began riding as a brand new cyclist, I did the typical bop around to different clubs, bop around to different rides to kind of see where I fit in, what made sense for me, where I felt comfortable. That was pretty a discouraging process for me. I was fortunate enough to find a handful of really good, solid people who was passionate about the sport. We began to jump around to different rides. And no matter how hard the ride got, how windy it was, no matter how, in Miami we get hurricanes. Sometimes we end up in a storm on the bike. No matter what happened, these guys, and they happen to be all men, formed a bubble around me. They protected me from the wind, to in front, to on the side, to behind me. One behind me, actually. It did not matter. They held their line. They made sure I got safely to the end of the ride, and because of that, I didn't let go. It didn't matter how hard the ride got. Because I had that bubble, because I knew without a shadow of a doubt, these guys would not move from their line, I was able to stay there, grow, and excel. But then it got to a point where I wanted to come out of the bubble. I was so confident now in my skills on the bike. I was ready. I was ready to jump out into the front. They welcomed that. So when I got to the front, I loved it. And can you imagine, once the mission was set into my heart, once I saw the disparities in cycling, I had that same confidence to step out into the unknown and create Level Up Cycling Movement, create Chocolate Pedals, create everything that I did because I had that team of men who stood around me and supported every single thing that I did. I had one request for them: have my back. Have my back. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how the industry will respond to me. I don't know if it will work. I don't know if it will make sense. I just know I have a mission in my heart that I will put everything I have behind, have my back. And they said, Erica, we got you. And all this time later, you see Chocolate Pedals, Level Up Cycling Movement, the huge impact we've been able to have is because I'm a product of that bubble and was able to take that out into cycling as a whole. So I'm gonna encourage each of you, especially men, and a lot of you ask this question: how do we get more women involved in our bike club? How do we get more women to come out to the track? How do we get more women to come out and train? I think the better question is, how do I support one woman? Because from that one woman, she will go on a mission to get the rest of the women. Another question is, can you be part of a bubble? Can you create a bubble for her in this space that's very new to us as she launch any and all things she could conceive in her mind? For me, I was told, I'm spiritual, for me, I was told I would create something ears haven't seen and ears haven't heard, eyes haven't seen. And every time I got that vision, I knew I had my team to back me up, and I went all the way in. And every time the dots connected, every single time the dots connected. So again, I encourage you to support women, support their creative minds, support their mission. Thank you.
I'm a true believer that the bike transcends your life, no matter where you come from. Because when we get on the bike, we're all the same. I was one of those 11-year-olds that found the sport of cycling at a young age, and it changed how I looked at people. Went to the velodrome where they had the '84 Olympics and saw a bunch of white guys in tights and funny helmets and pointy shoes. First time in my life I was around people that didn't look like me. Next thing you know, I'm racing bikes, and for the most part, the rest is history.
Yes, it looked like Tony Martin caught.
The Bahati Foundation, Bahati's my last name, of course, and it means good fortune in Swahili. We're about improving the lives of young people, from all walks of life. We're working with kids in the hood that are predominantly brown and black. It's teaching kids about bike safety, bike maintenance, health and wellness. We donate bikes to kids every holiday with our generous sponsor, Giant Bicycles.
Look, I got a bike for you. You like it? Such a cool bike, huh? Merry Christmas, man!
But at the end of the day, it's all about education, music, and sports. Those are the three things that changed my life. It's not about being a bike racer. Somebody had to design that bike. Cycling keeps pushing that envelope. Somebody has to be in charge of that. It could be you. I always say that. It could be you. You could be the person to come up with the next greatest thing in the sport and have a massive impact.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate everything that you guys are doing for the neighborhood and the school.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I haven't been in a room with this many people in like 2 years. This is incredible. Ken, thank you so much for pulling this together. It's a tremendous amount of work. My name is Scott Johnson. I'm the owner of Serious Cycling, and I'm the president of the SCNCA. That is the voluntary organization for Southern California, Nevada Cycling Association. We're part of USA Cycling, and we orchestrate officiating, permits, categorization for competitive cycling here in Southern California. Cycling is, most of the world sees it, I mean, most of the people in the US anyway, see it as a toy. A bike is a toy. And a lot of the world sees it as sport. And if you think about the US, we're like 340 million people. And there's about 7 million people that were involved in cycling as a sport before COVID. And the latest information is there's something like 14 million people involved in cycling as a sport now, after COVID. There's only about 100,000 USA Cycling race licenses. So 100,000 people are racing competitively out of 340 million. So we got a lot of work to do. But it's a wonderful sport. We all know how it touches our heart. And that's what we're here talking about tonight. And so I would like to encourage anybody who would like to get involved in the SCNCA. There's 2 other board members here with me tonight. Daniel Caldera over here. Daniel, put your hand up. Alfie Sanchez over here. It's a voluntary group. We need help. We need energy. And there's a huge opportunity to reset the table. I think USA Cycling is going to do that. The person I'm here to introduce is going to be a big part of that. And we can do it here locally as well. But it involves your time, and it involves your energy. So before we get to that, I do want to acknowledge some of the special guests we have here tonight. Southern California, by the way, or I should say Southern California, Nevada, out of all the local associations in the United States, is number 2, only behind Colorado. So this group right here, this is the biggest, well, second biggest, will be the biggest local association of USA Cycling. So we have a duty to grow this sport, and I think knowing a lot of you personally and having raced with a lot of you, I think we're up for the task. So I'd like to introduce to you some of the national and state champions that are here in the room tonight, and I think I got all of you, and if I don't, I apologize, and feel free to correct me. But in alphabetical order, I want to acknowledge Bart Clifford, Super Dave Cassell over here, Sharon Smith, John Davis in the back there, Justin Williams at the table over here, Lisa Muhammad, where are you? Suzanne Saunier? There she is. Rasan Bahati. Yeah. What? And I heard Nelson Vale's here tonight. Where's Nelly? Where is he? There he is. So we are blessed to have so many champions in this room. And I think you guys can see that we know, and there are other champions at the tables as well. I'm getting looks right now. Hold on. I'm saving the beast for last. So we got our most recent California champion, Corey Williams, sitting at the table. Right? So with all of this energy and all this expertise, it's our duty to grow this sport. Let's get people involved. This is competitive cycling. It's a sport. With sport comes rules. With sport comes etiquette and opportunity. And it also, with sport, comes organization and camaraderie. And I think that this group of people live by that, and there's tremendous opportunity for change and for growth, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys. With that, I'd like to introduce to you our special guest from New York. It's Saturday night. David Lipscomb, he's the CEO, founder, head coach of CIS Training. It's a really big deal in New York and on Zwift. It's a premier training program. A lot of people have grown and gotten strong in the last 2 years, particularly on Zwift. If you don't believe me, go to the race tomorrow. David, he's a contributor to Bicycle Magazine. He's part of the coaching staff. But most, or equally as important, he heads up diversity, equity, and inclusion for USA Cycling. There's a lot of work to do with our sport. There's a lot of dedicated people, and I think he's got his hands full. He's pioneering what he does in his life by combining the science of cycling, the art of coaching, the philosophies that come with martial arts, and the principles of leadership and development. I'd like to introduce to you David Lipscomb.
Wow. Hello, everyone. Come on now, let's try it again. Hello, everyone. All right, that's how we like to do it. Thank you, Scott, for the warm introduction. Like Scott said, this is hard work, folks. So I'm going to go into the depth and detail of what I do, why I do, and how I do it. I've been in the space in diversity since 2003. Been in this work a long time. And what I've learned since 2003 is the same conversations we've been having in 2003 we're having now. We need to change that, okay? So give you a little bit of information about me. I get my cue cards. Okay, I get a little, here you go, cue cards. All right, I've been working in the space of diversity for quite a long time, and I've come to realize that when we think about creating some change and doing things that are purposeful, it takes all of us to make it happen, right? Well, come on, folks, right? Right, okay. So having the opportunity to really share this expertise that I know, and I've been given the opportunity to learn a lot of things around diversity from some major players in the New York market. And I want to share those thoughts with you today. So, a couple things. Yes, I'm a martial artist. I've been doing this a long time. And I take a lot of these skills that I've learned in martial arts and I apply them to this work of diversity every single day. It's not just a happenstance, it's something I do, it's something I love to do. And those who know me from the New York market know. Rashad Bahati is on my diversity task force in USA Cycling, and he understands my style, okay? It's hard work to do what I do in an environment where there is no diversity, correct? Right? Agreed, right? So what I try to do is really engage people in a conversation around the business of diversity, right? It's not just about what other people think day in and day out. So part of my challenges, and I'm going to go through some of these key highlights of what I'm talking about, and how I really highlight how to make change, right? It's about making change. It's not about lipstick and rouge, folks. It's about the real work, right? About the real work. A couple things. I'm going to share with you some similarities that I've learned in corporate America. I've been doing this work, like I said, since 2003. I've been given the opportunity to share my work on the world stage at the United Nations. So people understand the things that I say, and I've learned 5 things. That demographics are changing, will always change. Number 2, employees and expectations of our customer base understand how do we keep people engaged in a conversation and ensure that we're doing the right things. Technology is a driver, right? Look at Swift. I was the first person to demo Swift in the world, folks. First person. First documented coach on Swift in 2014. I took the market, I saw it. And what we're looking at right now is there's a cross between how do we get people engaged in a sport across the board, right? Number 4 is when you think about the competition, where are we talking about competition? There are many opportunities for people to make change. And as you know, and if you don't know, USA Cycling has a new CEO. His name is Brandon Cork. Him and I had a very unique conversation this past week that says, you know what? I think we can really make a change here. He's super driven. I'm super driven. Or I wouldn't be doing this work because I have passion for the work that I do, right? So I'm going to share with you a couple things that we talked about over the last couple days. We had an off-site meeting in Colorado Springs. 5 key pillars of work that we're going to do for 2022 and going forward. All right. Number 1, these 5 pillars consist of, we got to bring new energy to the sport, as Scott talked about. New energy, right? New people. Through COVID, more people are on bikes than ever, right? Right. So there's an opportunity to really gauge in impact and inclusion in the sport of cycling. Number 2, expand our reach and support for clubs. That's why I'm here, right? Come all the way from New York City by way of Colorado Springs to come here to share my thoughts and how I can support you. So we can support each other so we can make some change, Right? I think this is a perfect opportunity to really align some key things, some key players in the space to really make it happen. Number 3, deliver sports performance at the highest level. Look at Corey, look at Justin, look at Rashad Bahati at the top, Sharon as well, at the top of the game. We want more people to be at the top of the game, right? Right? Because at the end of the day, folks, it's about the Olympic Games too. In 2024 and 2028 here in LA, right? 2028. 2028, right? 2028. In your backyard. All right? Number 4, break down the barriers to entry. Right? Got to break down these barriers, folks. And I think one of the unique things that I have the capability of doing is helping make change in an organization that's predominantly white. Right? I mean, that's real talk. It's real talk. However, what I have the capability of doing is sharing an opportunity to really engage the leadership in another conversation that they have never heard before. And I think I'm doing a really good job at it. Because if you think about it, being able to I wouldn't say infiltrate, but I'm going to, right? To share my thoughts around the business, because at the end of the day, if we're not doing what we're supposed to do for our customers, we're not doing anything for you. So once again, my job is to make this better for everybody, right? I'm super serious about what I do. I'm super passionate. I've been doing the work of diversity, like I said, since 2003, but I also am a coach for 16 years. So I see the similarities in coaching. I see the similarities in diversity and inclusion, how we coach people through a process of change, because diversity is a change management process, right? Change management process, folks. It goes with every organization, right? So the last piece is to leverage diversity, equity, and inclusion to elevate the sport of cycling. That's real. It's unique to me that I received an email from the UCI just a couple days ago saying they asked me personally to help them with their diversity program. Wow. That's big, right? That's big. Because they see the impact of the work that we've been doing, and I actually been working for USA Cycling since 2019 from a pro bono standpoint, you know, just kind of helping out every once in a while. But I was given the opportunity to step up and take this role. And I'm super passionate about what I do. Okay. Last couple of things I want to share is, I'm going to say this about us, okay? How do we create a culture of inclusion and really drive a winning culture? It's always about A, E, I, O, U. All right, I'm going to share with you why I say these a couple things. All right? A is about access to diverse communities, large and small, to broaden our reach. We want more people. Just like Scott said, we want more people in the game. E is about engage and educate. We want to engage and educate everybody in the sport of cycling. Now, we all know as people of color, cycling is all about freedom, right? That's what we came. You know, I can remember when I was a little kid. Hey, I want to get out on my bike. Mom said, get home by 6 o'clock. As long as I got home by 6 o'clock because dinner was ready. But it was about freedom. We want to get out on the bicycle. I is about identify talent both on and off the bicycle. Identify the talent, because there's talent out here. Look, we hear stories all the time about this. You know, Scott, how many people in the United States? 340 million, we only have 100,000 USA Cycling licenses. Come on, folks. Where's the disconnect? Let's say it again. That's it. So my job is to help bring more people in the sport, okay? O is to increase the opportunities for bike racing in the United States. Right? And last but not least is to unify our sport as cycling stewardships of individuals to create change. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I am Daniel Caldera. Scott introduced me just a few minutes ago. I'm on the SCNCA Executive Board. Very passionate about that. Like I said, it's a volunteer position. Any help is appreciated, and your involvement is as well. Also a local bike racer for a Monster Racing team. Dave, and my teammate there. And be nice. Anyhow, I'm up here to introduce Mr. Peter Abram and his latest video project. Peter started racing bikes, sounds like early in high school, and it's really continued to be very involved in the cycling community. He now runs Abrams Studio, which is a purpose-driven brands company with a focus on creating marketing content. So with some of his recent projects, which he's going to share this evening, I'll take the opportunity to introduce Mr. Peter Abrams. Thank you.
The coolest thing about St. Augustine University showing up to the start line should be the fact that they accomplished their goals and they set out to create something that didn't exist before. And I think by starting that race, it's a very, very clear win just even being there.
Our athletes are prepared, our bikes are perfect, we have great equipment, it's a great day. I actually believe it's a great day for a competition. The hardest part about this past year, we haven't had a chance to really engage with our cyclists in a way that exposes them to the world of cycling that we would want them to have.
I'm Alec Perrin with NC State Cycling here in Raleigh. I'm a student of the university, current senior. Our club today is putting on this race.
A cyclocross race is an off-road bike race done on dirt, gravel, sand, almost any sort of surface. Races are generally 30 minutes to 60 minutes long on roughly a 1 mile circuit. This is the first race the SAU bike team will have competed in.
We want to diversify the sport, and this is the first step in actually showing people that we can do it.
The importance of having an HBCU bicycle team in the collegiate division, I feel like it's to make a statement, to change cycling.
If you look around, even on a race like today, it looks a lot the same sometimes.
The impact of our SAU cycling program is huge because we will change that in the long run.
What's happening with St. Augustine is important because somebody has to take that first step and like show other people that it's possible. And like sports history is full of examples of people who kicked that door down for women, for black people. In every case, you need those pioneers to show people that that particular activity is open for inclusion.
I did the Harlem Crit in New York, rode into this group of people that were like people of color. I've never seen that reaction at any race I had gone to. It was just this awakening. If I can share this with the world, young black kids and sponsors, I can not only influence the sport of cycling, but I could change the way that it operates. I'm gonna start a team. I'm gonna build media around it. We started filming races because we wanted to treat it like football, go in and rewatch what our mistakes were and how we could grow from them. Turns out people like watching bike racing.
We're excited for our cyclists, for our competitors. This cyclocross is gonna be a great competition. It's game time, literally, right?
Just like any aspect of society, it is richer, it is fuller, and it is better when we can all enjoy the equal benefits and privileges of that activity.
Cycling teaches you about keeping your composure and being able to overcome and have that willpower to do what you need to.
You switch gears to ride up a hill, same way you have to switch gears in life, persevering.
As a black person, I'm always rooting for everybody black. We bring a lot of swag, we make things dope. When you get black folks involved, the possibilities are endless.
I first heard about the St. Augustine's team from a colleague of mine here at CSUN.
He had seen the video, forwarded it to me. I was really inspired and said, we should do something like that here at Cal State University Northridge. Everyone needs to see themselves in the possibilities, the possibility of the human condition, the possibility to explore themselves, the possibility to compete, the possibility to be at peace.
That doesn't mean at this HBCU that is so steep in history that you're forgetting about the past. It doesn't mean we forget about all that Major Taylor had to go through. It means we're building upon that past. We can do this together, and bikes have that power.
Cycling is such a social sport, just a great way to get to know somebody who's different than you through a shared common interest, cycling.
The St. Augustine team are the mentors for the future. They're the ones who are going to get more kids on bikes in their communities.
The ripple effect that this is going to have, and frankly is already having, is huge.
That team getting a platform and people paying attention to it is like one piece of a larger puzzle where people who weren't part of the culture just a few years ago are being welcomed into it.
The sky's the limit. In 5 years, and we'll just have a more diverse community, which is incredible.
In a perfect world, we might have 20 or 30 full-blown HBCU cycling programs throughout the country. If we can hit that target, you'll end up seeing a population of racers that truly represents the population as a whole.
I don't think we are dependent on white folks for that to happen, but it will happen faster. It will be more sustainable if we're in this together.
Everybody should have access and be able to do this. There shouldn't be limitations to who can ride.
There's no reason for me to say, oh, I'm a black guy who rides bikes. No, I'm a guy who rides bikes and I enjoy it and I love it.
It's a global experience. It connects us all.
Celebrate the race of the collegiate men. They're from SAU. Coach Wayne, Marquis Flores.
18 months ago, we were this sleepy little club using hand-me-down bikes that some crazy professor over in the business school was spearheading.
In first place, Corinne Pickens.
To have 2 kids on the podium. We couldn't have scripted it any better.
Hey, my name's Peter Abraham. I made that video. I started getting involved with St. Augustine's as soon as they started. I just was inspired by them. I helped arrange the Canyon sponsorship, and then I went ahead and told a year of stories about it. And along the way, I just learned so much. And, you know, one of the things that I've learned through my journey with spending time at an HBCU is bikes are, without question, the greatest cultural bridge that's ever been built. And I think all of us are here tonight because of bicycles. I want to thank Ken for putting all this together. I'm so inspired to see everybody here. If you like bikes, pretty good chance that you like endorphins, you like adrenaline, you like gear, and you like community. And so I'll tell you how this works. You know, you take a kid like Fanat, who's in that video. He was born and raised in Eritrea, came over to the United States in middle school, went to an HBCU. On paper, you would think, I don't have anything in common with that guy. But what I learned is because of our shared love of bicycles, I have more in common with someone like Fanat than I do with a 50-year-old white guy who lives next door to me in LA and doesn't ride bikes. And it's been a great learning experience. And, you know, it's incumbent on all of us to use the bike to build bridges to other cultures, because when we do that, we make friends. When we make friends, that proximity builds compassion and understanding for other communities. And it's really hard to dislike someone when you're friends with them. And, you know, and in particular, I think bikes are, and I know all of us here can speak to how they bring transformation to our lives. And it's really important for us to bring young people into cycling and get them on bikes because they're incredible tools for economic empowerment. And I just want to share with you quickly 2 people that I connected with in the last year around these videos. One is Jan Searcy, who's sitting here. Jan, stand up. Jan's in the video. He's a dean at Cal State Northridge, 38,000 students, very diverse. He saw the first video. He called me out of the blue and he said, hey, I'm a dean. I'm inspired by these kids and I'm starting a cycling team because of that video. And I was like, you know what? That's the reason I made these videos. And Jan is in need of some coaching mentoring for his young team this year. So if anybody wants to share their wisdom and time and resources at all with Jan, I encourage you to find him. And secondly, just in the last week, I met someone up at the top of Stunt Road on a climb. I was climbing. She tracked me down 2 days later and said, hey, you know, I saw your video and I got to tell you, I was a human rights attorney in South Africa before I started my bike racing journey. And so that's Caitlin Conyers, who's here. You might have recognized her. She was a finalist at the Zwift Academy in Mallorca, and she'll be racing around the world with the Lux team this year, trying to qualify for the Paris Olympics from her home country of Bermuda. Anyway, thank you all for taking time to watch this, and I believe that bikes can change the world. Thanks.
We are in Watts, and we are with the Eastside Riders Bike Club. They're trying to serve the community every single day, and this is something that the Galaxy, you know what, it's part of the DNA, helping your local community in the greater Los Angeles area. So it was great for me to be a part of this.
Normally our dollars that we're granted, we use those to teach bicycle safety education and help them advocate for safer streets in the community. Since COVID, those dollars have been reallocated to feeding our community.
For me to be able to interact with people in need and get down to the humanity of it all, I think it's really cool to be able to, have an impact on people's lives.
Nothing feels better than seeing smiles on folks' face. That makes it all worth it to get up the next day and start over.
Wait a minute. That was kind of like a giveaway video. There's no surprise now. But, hi everybody. Good evening. I'm Cassidy Davidson, owner of Davidson Bike Law. Many of you know my father, Seth Davidson. He's out mountaineering. He's not here. I'm here. So nice to meet you. At some point, all of us in our life ask, who are we? What are we? And I've kind of come to this conclusion myself at some point in my life, but the smart people in the room who created all clubs said, we are a diversely unified community. And that's how All Clubs LA started. A little bit of a history there. And I think all clubs grew out of this need that we all realized we all need to be connected and then stay connected, because that's so hard to do. And we all kind of realized that over the past 2 years. I don't need to tell you that. This organization that we are recognizing tonight here listens to that community. How do they listen? Sometimes the community needs bicycles because that's a basic necessity in many communities. Sometimes that need is food. Because during the pandemic, we saw people starving. And today, we still see people starving. And then sometimes that need is something very personal. We all have our struggles, and it's sometimes hard to say what our need is. But this organization listens to all those needs. And they don't just listen, they deliver. You already know who it is. Eastside Riders, come on up. John Jones, everyone.
So, yeah, my name is John Jones. I'm the co-founder and president of Eastside Riders Bike Club. We are a nonprofit organization in the Watts community and now in Compton. We are trying to do things and introduce kids to the sport of cycling. It's probably not a traditional way to get kids out. But we are taking what we know, me as a grown man getting involved in cycling at 28, was able to look back at the bike and see that it was treated as a toy in our community and that we needed to do more in our community to get more people out on the streets and riding bikes, helmets on heads, lines painted on the ground, and trying to make it safer for people in our communities to get to and from work, to and from the store, and to and from school. And that was the first thing that we thought about. Another thing we thought about was feeding people. When we first started our organization, before we was a nonprofit organization, before we was even, I think, looked at as a group, we had family and friends get together and we rode around Watts and found all of our houseless brothers and sisters and fed them. We made sack lunches and fed each and every one of them on the streets. We went through the canals, we went through the back streets, we went through the alleyways, and we fed people. Today we continue to do that. Just today, this morning, we was out feeding the hungry in the community, and now the new community that we call home, Compton. It's a little different. It's like starting all over, looking for all of the homeless encampments, and it's so many. But people in the homeless encampments are a little standoffish because they don't know who you are. They're afraid that you're there to get information to report them. And all we're trying to do is give them a meal. We recognize that through getting kids involved on bikes and riding through the communities and showing them how to give back to others, by cycling, we're giving them tools for life. The tools that they can use anytime in their lifetime. So now, what we're trying to do at Eastside Riders is continue to just make sure that everyone understands that cycling is a sport and that we all can do it. We continue to do it every day. Thank you guys for this opportunity. We appreciate it. And thank you to Ken. Thank you to the Davidson-Law. Thank you to Bahati, my wife. And all my friends that I met along the way. We hope that you guys can get more involved, and not only here, but in the world where, you know, it's regular folks learning how to ride bikes and riding bikes through the community, and so they can get on the level of competing on in the cycling world and as a sport. Thank you, Cedric, as well. Cedric, my man. Thank you very much.
Hey, what up with y'all? How y'all doing? Listen, bear with me, right? I'm honored to give out this award tonight. So bear with me, please. I wrote something down. Here we go, baby. Hold on. My name is Elijah, but most know me as Trilla. I'm in business development for Pedal Mafia, and tonight, I'm here to present the award for Game Changer to a deserving individual. One who took a risk to save cycling, and it turned out to pay dividends. Name the most important man in cycling even before creating his own race that will reshape crit racing in America. The risk paid off so much, his name in cycling will last longer, I don't know if he's here, than Kendall's "I could have won, but my gear slipped" losing streak excuse. Longer than Sharon's list of training partners because he makes them carry his arm warmers and they all decide to quit, except for Arturo, because he doesn't understand what Sharon is saying anyway. I'm honored by his achievements and proud to call him a brother. Tulsa wins, magazine covers, a special helmet, a Lamborghini GoFundMe help him buy, and having to throw his bike to beat his little brother, whom he is also on the team you both co-founded. Love you, Corey, and congratulations on being a new parent. This year has been magical and something we used to sit in Bahati's backyard and watch until he banned me from coming to his house because I refused to buy a club jersey. Sorry, Bahati, I only wear Pedal Mafia, baby. You know, hey, listen, to hanging out with rock stars, having the brightest jersey in his own race and 6 extra people to help him win that same race. To being a trendsetter and having the best taco meat chest hair Taco Bell would love to sponsor. And the vision to manifest this years ago and literally not take an inch and be willing to stand on your own dreams and cut out anyone not willing to conform. Even your favorite son, Dante, whom you still own child support for, by the way. I present this award to Justin Williams. Cyclist game changer. Come on up here, baby.
He talking about my taco meat. I take that personally. There's a race tomorrow, so you already know what's gonna happen to Elijah. Man, this is amazing. The first thing, I didn't write a speech or anything. I just wanted to talk to you guys. It's amazing to see everyone here and to see this come together. Thank you to Ken, thank you to Rasan and everyone else who was involved. I know I should have went with a different haircut too. I was like, I'm gonna do it. Derulo got street cred. Don't call me Usher. The first thing I want to talk about is I want to thank my brother, Corey Williams, my family. Legion does not happen without Corey. Corey is my accountability. I work a ton, so he's the one that makes sure that I keep the first thing first. The number one thing, which is cycling. I want to thank Rasan Bahati because in the position I'm in now, I don't know how he found time to ride with me when I was a kid. There's a lot of people in this room that helped shape me. Dave Pulliam is not here. He's my manager for Major Motion and my grandpa, which I'm sad he's not here. But he shaped so many incredible cyclists, from Corin Rivera to Ali, who was in here. I don't even know if y'all know about Ali. He even tried with Elijah, but can't win them all. It's incredible, man. It's incredible to see this. I wrote down some key words that I want to speak off of. It takes a village, and everyone being here tonight proves that that concept holds true, generation after generation. You guys gotta continue to reach out, continue to have conversations. It's extremely important. Clubs, riders, people. It's so important to listen, and so that's number one. Support, people in effort. Those around me, again, Rasan, Ken, everyone who's loaned advice, see me venting on Instagram and reached out. Like, I appreciate it because, while we kind of rolled down this road of uncharted territory, it's hard. I told Corey the other day we were doing a photo shoot and I was like, I'd rather train. Like, it's really hard to do the modeling and the business meetings and the racing. I showed up to Lions Den and people were like, you gonna win? I was like, bro, I've been working for like 2 weeks. Like, Corey's gonna win. And then the last thing is bravery.
You guys are all brave for being here. Everyone's brave for, the efforts that they put into their communities in this sport that isn't always welcoming. Stay brave. It's something that can't be, it's something that you have to hold on to because, the world isn't always kind, but together, doing things together, having each other's back, showing up to support, club rides, galas, etc., races. It matters. It matters to us when we show up to a race and we see people that look like us. You got Corey crying on YouTube, So it really, really matters, and it's important to us. It helps us continue to push forward on this mission that we're on. And I'll leave you guys with this. Hold on to your value. I have a lot of conversations about how to approach dealing with the cycling industry. Our culture is our value, and that's something that people are always buying. So hold on to your value. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, guys.
Woo! I think it's safe to say that everybody is in this room tonight because of their ability to, or their desire to want to be on a bike and to push a pedal. A year and a half ago, I found myself getting on a bike for the first time because I was 250 some pounds and overweight and just wanted to lose weight. A year and a half later, I'm one of the 100,000 people who have a UCI or a USA cycling license, and I race. So I think we can all agree, too, that tonight, the theme of tonight is about unity, diversity, and community. And we would like to take a moment just to recognize some of those people who exemplify those three things. We have Fred Brewer here of Major Taylor. He's not here tonight, but last year, Fred embarked on a solo, unsupported ride from Santa Monica, California to Bethany Beach, Delaware, over 3,000 miles, to bring awareness to the low-income housing crisis. Fred set a goal to raise $50,000 to assist low-income citizens negatively impacted by the COVID crisis and the high prices of housing in America. With the help of Habitat for Humanity, he reached his financial goal of $50,000 on the last day of his journey across America. Next, we have our very own from Major Motion, Lisa Muhammad. This lady, she picked up a bike in 2020 as a way of distracting herself from, she had a whole series of personal disasters in her family, so she picked up a bike. And last year, she entered her first race, and she came in dead last. By the end of the season, she was on the podium as the state champion in the Masters Women divisions. We have Deanna Albanez of Girls Who Cycle. Now, this woman has gotten a lot of women and non-binary people to get on a bike during COVID and start pedaling. She organized regularly group rides, including the now famous Mountain Goat series and Century Rides around Southern Cal. She's always welcoming new riders with a big smile on her face and posting funny-ass videos about cycling on Instagram that are quickly becoming viral. Let's give her a hand, too. And last but not least, in the bottom corner, not Rashawn or Sharon or the other guy, but David Cosell. Dave has worked on several community-based programs such as Cycle Kids. The Cycle Kids programs improve the lives of children by increasing confidence, self-esteem, and overall well-being, all through the experience of learning to ride a bike and making healthy eating choices. Their goal is to help all children recognize that exercise and good nutrition supports physical and emotional health. Let's give all of these courageous people a round of applause.
My name is Taisha Walker. I've had the pleasure of sharing the road with a lot of you guys out here. There's a lot of wheels that I've tried to stay behind. There's also some wheels that I've tried to make sure I don't get stuck behind. But nonetheless, tonight, I have the honor and the privilege to recognize a group of special people that we have tonight. This group is much bigger than a cycling club. This group is a movement in the cycling community. So the group I'm talking about is KRT QRT, which stands for Kings Rule Together. And of course, Queens Rule Together. KRT QRT Cycling was started in 2019, and what started as a group of 4 brothers in Philly learning how to cycle has turned into a group of over 250 active members across the entire country, with a couple people here in LA as well. And what makes this group so special is that when KRT QRT shows up, they show up big, and they show up strong, and everybody wants to know, what's the kit gonna look like? Yep. So I would like to I'd like to bring up Karan, who is the group's founder. So inscribed in this David Pulliam Award, which is going to stay here in LA, will be KRT QRT. So you guys are going to have to come back to see it. Right? So to be inscribed, we also have with us one of the founding members, Hank Wallace, if you'll stand up. And then last, I would like to ask the entire group of KRT QRT to stand up so that we can acknowledge you and show you a little love. Woo! So thank you guys for the vibe and the energy that you bring, that you brought here tonight, that you bring. This group shows up to One Love, Seagull Century, Level Up in Miami. So if you haven't been, if you didn't know who KRT QRT was before tonight, I'm sure you've probably seen the kits somewhere. And so they're the next big thing that's going on in the cycling community. So thank you for the efforts to get here and for always showing up and showing out.
Well, thank you. Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, everyone looks amazing. I was panning the room, and you guys really cleaned up very well. I saw a lot of you guys went and had a bike ride this morning. I could never, so kudos to all of you. My name is Iman Bahati. I am number 5 of 7 of Queen Mother, Nasoma, and Rashid. I wanted to speak this evening because Rasan is one of my heroes. He is a living hero. I don't tell him enough, but I want you to know here tonight that you are my hero. And I stepped up to be a part of the Bahati Foundation because when you gave out bikes one year, I'm sorry I'm nervous and I might cry, but you gave out bikes one particular year and I saw a young girl and she was like, "Is this for me?" And you were like, "Yeah, this is all yours. You got your helmet." She was like, I've never had anything so nice ever before, and I'm just so thankful. And in that moment, the just pure love and joy that Rasan had to bestow a gift that God gave him at a very young age, and give that to other young riders, is important to our family. It is important to me. So I want to thank everyone that is in this room tonight that has supported the Bahati Foundation, or sign up for our newsletter, or follow us on Instagram, or anything that has to do with, or you purchase the kit. We appreciate and love all of you. The items that we have here for the auction tonight If you guys have not put in your final bid, make sure you So if you have not put in your final bid, I strongly encourage you to do so. Funds that are being raised tonight through this silent auction are going to benefit generations to come. You've heard Justin, you've heard Elijah, you've heard about so many other young cyclists that have got into this sport, maybe because they heard of Rasan or they saw someone that looked like them, or maybe you're not even from the States, you're in the UK or somewhere abroad, and representation matters. Someone else said, I think it was David who said freedom. That word within itself, being on a bike, getting a bike for the first time is the pure joy, again, when you get your first bike and you're on the road and you're going out with your friends and you can go wherever you want. And so that is what the Bahati Foundation really wants to bestow onto the next generation, is that freedom that they can have. So please put your final bids in. We want to thank Giant. We want to thank Davidson Law. Sorry, I don't want to get that wrong. We want to thank Ken. Oh, allow me. Allow me. We want to thank our generous sponsor, Giant. We want to thank our generous sponsor, Zwift. Everyone that's a part of all clubs, we want to thank you guys, because without you, the Bahati Foundation really wouldn't be here. The 4 guys that rode across America, literally, I could not fathom what you guys have done. And so I want to say thank you. I see praises over there. I see praises over here. You guys, thank you. And so I want you guys to watch a quick video. A lot of you may have already seen it, but for those who have not seen it, please take a look. And thank you again.
When I signed up for this, my friend Rudy had told me that we were racing across America. I had told him I was quite happy to do that. Riding across America sounded great. And he looked at me just like, riding across America, that's not what I said, we're racing.
RAM is about 3,000 miles of racing, and we start in Oceanside, California, and we finish in Annapolis, Maryland.
The total race is almost 200,000 feet of elevation.
It's not a tour, it's not a cruise, it's not a stage race. We're riding continuously, 24 hours a day, nonstop. We're time trialing across the country. For us, it was really important that we made our fundraising efforts very tangible.
I've known Rasan Bahati for a long time, so one of the things that I've always talked to him about is being able to give back in a meaningful way.
Nice to meet you. Hi, baby. What's your name?
So why not give back to some kids, the children of family members who were murdered for no apparent reason whatsoever?
These were people that weren't in gangs, they weren't running the streets. They literally were in the wrong place at the wrong time. I said, look, I think one of the cool things we can do is take care of the kids, because they're gonna need it the most, right? Because they lost their mom, their dad, their grandmother.
Our goal is $50,000. I think we'll blow through that, and we're gonna set up investment funds for these children that will work for them into the future.
I just want to thank everybody here, and especially these guys that are about to raise, and it's incredible. It's an incredible feeling, and thank you guys so much out there.
Our particular team is going to be a 4-man team. We'll break up into 2 groups. Each group will be responsible for 6 hours, and during that 6-hour rotation, we'll take short pulls, about 30 minutes each.
One person will be in a follow car, the other cyclist will be in front taking a half-hour pull. We'll do an exchange. And the idea is that you can ride at a higher intensity for that shorter amount of time.
You know, we're not stopping every night and sleeping in a
hotel room with a nice comfortable bed and a hot shower. This is a moving caravan, so sleep is always a big challenge, and a risk with that is actually falling asleep on the bike.
Getting on your bike at 2 a.m. was probably one of the toughest things to do.
You could be the fittest person here, but if you can't handle being tired, you're not going to make it.
You know, we dropped into Borrego Springs, it was 111 degrees. You're getting closer to Arizona, it's 124 degrees. You can't plan for that stuff. There's really nothing you can do.
It's like you're in a convection oven. It's really hot. It's down in the valley.
I got your mic. You guys go walk this way. This way.
You got it? Yeah, I got it. My body went downhill really, really fast.
Okay, it's okay. I got you. Oh, fuck!
The pain was so excruciating that I passed out for a good 10 minutes.
Alex? Alex? Alex, wake up, buddy.
It was bad. It was really bad. I was able to rebound out of it, but it really kind of put things in perspective. We were 24 hours into this race, and there's no way I was gonna tap out.
Before we got into the Flagstaff area, the race actually stopped because of a forest fire. And we got out of the cars or off the bike, and you can smell the smoke. You can see the smoke. Unfortunately, but fortunately, the race was stopped.
James rode 16 miles since he's been on his bike, and he's just been going straight.
So he's five
dead
past.
straight.
Okay,
He's
tell him
five
to
past.
stop. He needs to stop.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Okay. Can you describe where you are? Like, if we were to come pick you up, how would you get us there?
People are tired. We're in the second day now. These riders are irritated. So let's get this together from here on out. It should run smooth if we just keep it smooth.
I told the guys, when we're hurting and we're like sleep deprived and legs hurt, think about those kids. We're riding these bikes across the country for them. So I think that's a huge motivation for everyone.
Feels like we've been riding for 10 days already, but day 3, we flew through Utah. We're now in Colorado, going over one of the highest peaks actually in the United States. It's an 8-mile climb at about 8 to 9%, pretty heavy. So yeah, we'll enjoy this.
That was a beautiful, beautiful climb.
That bike was just flying. My fingers started sweating because they were like, "You sure you want to go this fast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do."
We came into a situation with like 2 or 3 days to go where we had a group who may want to play. And we love to play.
From Oceanside to Pennsylvania, we didn't see anyone. We were ahead. How cool would that be to catch an 8-person team in the last 150 miles of the race?
We went cat and mouse. We smelt them for like 30, 40 miles until we caught them. And then when we caught them, we couldn't get ahead of them. It took us 10 miles to get ahead of them.
So you catch them, and now you got to go even harder because now they want to catch us.
It was on, like they chased us down. So for 100 miles, it was a 4-man team racing the 8-man team, and it was a race within a race.
It was a race that a racer's dream of. 100-mile race after 2,900 miles.
And we did catch them, by the way.
I have never pushed myself so hard. I've never been so proud of my legs, and I'm happy.
There they come. Winning time of 6 days, 5 hours, 41 minutes. Put our hands together and welcome Team Thin Energy.
You know, I sacrificed the last 20 years of my life to cycling. I think something that a lot of athletes struggle with is parlaying that sacrifice into something noble, something that you feel proud about. And for me, parlaying my experience on a bike into the Bahati Foundation and raising some money to help some kids who are in some really unfortunate situations, I think that's one of the biggest reasons I'm excited about this.
Love that you've raised funds for some families that are going through some really tough times.
I think we've hit our goal. Our goal is to raise $50,000, and I think we're a little bit over right now, so it's super special for us to do it.
One of my favorite videos of all time. Fear of the Fro. Fear of the Fro, hug the bro. Let me get this out of the way. I'm extremely humbled that everyone is in this room tonight and supporting what we do as a community, because without you swiping your credit card and buying a ticket and being here, we wouldn't have an event. And that's just real talk. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. I secondly want to shout out my household, my wife, my kids, because when things are going absolutely amazing, things are going absolutely amazing in my life. So my wife, Hazel, raise your hand, say hello to everyone. Like I said, when things are going great, we make a great product. And I think tonight we've had a great product. Secondly, that video that you saw is dear to my heart because two reasons. One is Steven Salazar, where you at? Stand up, little man. Sally and I met in Kenosha, Wisconsin on the track and instantly became friends. We were 13 years old. And we've been lifelong friends more than half of our lives. So I appreciate you. He was one of our captains that crewed for Race Across America. And after Race Across America was over, it was just humbling to me and amazing that I actually experienced it with 3 of my really good friends. And another one is Devin. So that video, Devin, please stand up. I know you're a shy guy. Come on, man, stand up, man. You about 8 feet tall. Stand up. So as I go through this expression of cycling and doing things, I always want to bring my friends through it. So when I had the opportunity to have a production crew to film Race Across America, my man is in production. Who else I'm gonna call, right? So I was extremely excited to have him on the journey with me and see him working and putting the crew together and everything. All right, let's get past that. I would like to bring up 3 people who made the race happen, who was extremely, I don't know the word. You saw the video. The team was separated into 2s, right? So we had Team A, Team B. James and I, James, come here. Come on up here. James and I were teammates. And James is crazy if you don't know. But this guy, he's older than me and had way more energy than me. And I had a bad time doing RAM. When we got to Kansas, I wanted to quit. I wanted to pack my bags up and go home. And every time we exchange, James says,
enjoy it.
Every single time, right? And there was one point at like 3 in the morning, he told me to enjoy it, and I wanted to just like knock him out, for real. I was like, I can't enjoy it. I'm cold, I'm tired, I want to go home. And he said,
enjoy it. I mean, why not? You're riding your bicycle in the middle of the night.
That wasn't that much fun. But leaving Kansas, we were riding. We started our shift at 1 a.m. and it's now about 5:30, 6 a.m. and the sun's coming up. And if you've never been to Kansas, Kansas sucks and it's dead flat. And don't go to Kansas. But as we're coming through Kansas and reaching our second half of the team, which is Rudy Napolitano and Alex, they're somewhere in here. The sun was coming up, and you can see the sunrise for like 2 hours. It was absolutely amazing. And he says,
Let's race.
"No, that's not what you said."
Let's ride.
No.
Enjoy it.
Thank you. You said enjoy it. And it was literally at that point, I said, you know what? He's 100% absolutely right. I should enjoy this. And it changed everything about the race for me. So don't go anywhere. Stay up here. And I appreciate that. And I think I've shared this story with you before. I'm extremely appreciative of that. All right. Oh, he about to. Okay. Next up, Team B was Alex, please come up, and Rudy. This composes our 4-person team. So just a quick backstory. 2018, I've known Alex for 10 plus years. He called me up one day, and I was pretty fit back then, and he goes, "Hey man, I want to do this Race Across America." And I was like, "All right, cool. Call me later." Yeah. Not knowing what Race Across America really was, and we did it, and I had nightmares that I would get run over by a truck. And if you look at the 2018 team kit, it was fluorescent yellow. And I designed it because I didn't want to get run over by a truck. We had an amazing time. We raised funds for 4 different organizations. And then a year goes by, 2 years goes by, Alex called me again. He said, "Hey, I want to do a Race Across America." I told him to fuck off. Yep. For the most part. Am I lying?
No, not at all.
And I was at my daughter's track and field, and I said, "Hey, I can't hear you, call me back." Long story short, he twisted my arm, and I said, "Well, if we do this event, we have to do it for a reason, and we have to do it to win. I don't want to just do it just to get across the country." So when you start thinking about winning, you have to think about powerful people on bikes. You're looking at them right here, seriously. Let me move over to this guy. All these guys are super humble, let me tell you. Now, this guy right here, Rudy, come from New York. Oh, he got the medal. And I met Rudy back in like 2006, and I was responsible for starting a pro cycling team called Rock Racing. And I knew this guy from Santa Monica area, and I knew he was a strong rider. Couldn't really navigate, racing, but I was like, if I can get, nurture him, he could become a really good rider. So signed him up, put him on the team. He became a professional cyclist, just like that, right? Paid him some money, and we became teammates. And I never forget, we went racing in Wisconsin. Rudy couldn't turn to save his life. And were you there? Yeah, Justin was on the team. And so, I'm old school. My coaches had a stopwatch, and that's it. There was no power meters, none of that stuff. And I said, "Rudy, you're going to fucking get in that hole, and you're going to ride as hard as you can ride." And I literally pushed him in a race. And I think that was like a rites of passage for him because his life changed, and he became a really good teammate, sacrificed himself many a times, and I was honored to have you on the team for Race Across America. Thank you. And I want to say, in closing, I just want to say thank you to everyone who donated during that time. Our goal was $50,000. We actually raised $62,000. Which helped inner city families that tragically lost a loved one to gun violence, and that was through way of LAPD and Detective Cedric Washington, who is somewhere in the building, who identified, where the Popo at? Come on, Popo, put the donut down, stand up, man. Cedric, don't do anything wrong around him, you go to jail. He helped identify the families that we supported. We recently went to a black-owned bank in the Crenshaw district and opened up bank accounts for these families. We also gave them $1,700 during the holiday season so they can go out and just do whatever they need to do. And then we did investment accounts. So these young people could have these investment accounts and, have money for the future. So thank you guys. Thank everyone up here. And yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Now, hopefully we didn't bore you guys with all the videos and speaking. I would like to bring up, I'm going to call him by his full government. He probably don't like it. Kenneth Vinson. Kenneth is the mastermind behind the Black Tie, All Clubs, New Year's Gala. We've had events in the past where we brought the community together on bikes, in parks, but we've never dressed up. Ken needed an excuse to buy a new suit, and it costs a lot of money to do it, but he did it. Ken, please work your way to the front so we can acknowledge you. Okay, hold it. Actually, hold it. That boy clean. Woo! Woo! Before I pass over the mic, I think it's important to recognize one thing. Ken met me probably 2014, 13, sometime in there. And Sharon and I Sharon Smith, you guys know him? We're on two separate teams. And even though I'm more handsome, we kind of look alike because of our skin tone. And Ken came into the picture and was like, dude, why y'all don't work together? Like, it's only two of y'all. Like, why y'all not doing the same thing? And it's something that I think we both thought about, but we didn't have that other voice to say, dude, do it together. Like, it's power in numbers. And he was the conduit for us even connecting. Even though I don't like him that much, we together, though. You know what I'm saying? And it was because of Ken. He planted that seed and made it grow. But seriously, we started Methods to Winning, which is a race organization. We also promote events. It's part of this event. And so with all that said, my father, Rashid, is here. We want to give you a custom-made appreciation trophy. What you mean, what? I gave you wheels last time. What you mean, what? Yeah, it says, it's from the Bahati Foundation. It says Community Service Award 22. Presented to Kenneth Vinson. Yeah, so that's for you. And don't talk it. Hold on. One last person. My sister Iman was up here. Iman, where are you at? Come up here. You almost made me cry earlier. The Bahati Foundation is a really small, humble organization that was started by me in 2009. We launched in 2010. We celebrated our 10th anniversary during the pandemic. But my sister is absolutely, just incredible. She goes far and beyond her duties. She has a full-time job, but she volunteers her work. So all the emails you see, all the correspondence is coming from her. She works in the philanthropy space already, so it's kind of natural that she helps us out, and I really appreciate it. My father is the executive director of the foundation, and this is our team right here. This is us. So we want to actually give you an award as well. Yes. Yeah, put that on the fireplace. And yeah, that's all I have. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Everyone who spoke was absolutely amazing. Powerful, powerful messages. Erica, Paul, who else we had? Hey, you was kind of funny, Glenn, Nancy, David, and everyone else. Elijah, you all right. You can come back to the house, man. I'll open the gate for you, man. You can come back to the house. Thank you, and I want to pass it over to Ken.
Whoa. All clubs, good evening. Listen, I'm going to keep this short. We're over schedule. And I want to get to the party. How about y'all? Yes, I hear a whole lot of yeses. All right. So listen, what I'd like to do is touch up a couple things. I'll call it cleanup. Share just a quick note with you, and then electrify, get ready to come on up here and get the party started, okay? To get started, if I can get the DJ to give me just a little segue segment, maybe 10, 15 seconds. I want to recognize a couple of birthdays. We have Patrick Barrett in the house. Patrick, where you at? All right, it's his birthday today. And we have two parents, two very good friends of mine who gave up spending their birthday with their young daughter, Michaela Thompson. to be here tonight. So if we get a little happy birthday music for the birthday people and anyone else that I don't know whose birthday might be today. He's looking for it. It's going to be 5-10 seconds. Nah, we ain't got that kind of time. All right, anyways, happy birthday. That's okay, DJ DVS. I know you're getting ready for the evening. Also, I want to recognize someone that we didn't know was in the room earlier. Excuse me if I butcher this. Jenna Rollman. Yes, this young lady is the Para-Olympian champion, national champion. And she is on the 2024 Olympic team. So give her a round of applause, please. Now, I want to recognize a young lady. She had an unfortunate accident. She was hit by a car. And, you know, riding our bikes the way that some of us do, on the coast, and she was on PCH. She got hit by a car, and it turned out to be a very dangerous accident in that she could have lost her leg. And she, I like to consider her a friend. Prior to that accident, she would wear a hat and kind of had a theme of what she called doing epic shit, right? And she's a partner of Rudy, who you've heard about, who rides and races across America. And anyway, she got hit by the car, but she set this event. She put this date on her calendar as a target date to make through her recovery and make it here tonight. And she's here with us. Please give a hand to Peta Taki. Peta, you're still epic, no doubt. As you heard earlier, so this may be redundant, but it's important. I think it's important that it comes from me, and I want to be at least one of the people that are saying this. I want to thank KRT, QRT for making that travel in this environment, getting on a plane, paying those airline tickets, and traveling across the coast to come here and be here tonight. Give KRT and QRT a hand. Now, you know, there's no way to put on an event without having an army of people behind the scenes, and there's no way I can sit here and say thank you to all the names. Y'all would be yawning and probably throwing stuff at me. So I'm just going to say, I want to say thank you to the planning committee that helped bring this together tonight. Please give the planning committee a hand. As we go to wrap up here on this part, you see up here, these are the sponsors for this event. This doesn't happen without those names up there. And hopefully you all see tonight through a proof of concept that this is a good thing to bring the community together. As Rasan said, I talked to him, Sharon, Justin, about working together. In fact, as I mentioned those names, God Bless, Podium, and Natty, that is my inner circle, part of my inner circle. Many of you are a part of my inner circle, and you know that because I'll call you at 4 in the morning, right? Or I'll email you, right? And so you can't get anywhere unless you have unity, and you can't have unity without cohesion. And if you look at a lot of things, and I won't bore you with a talk, but if you look at a lot of things in terms of diversity and equity and inclusion, we as black people have got to get to a point of where we have some cohesion, okay? And I'm not gonna go down that pathway, but I do wanna make that point because cohesion is important no matter what we do and what we're trying to accomplish. And so let me wrap up with this. I was trying to think of what it was I wanted to say. We had a ride today, we called it the Champions Ride, and someone sent me a note, and it touched my heart, and I thought this is the perfect thing to share because I think they summed it up. So I'm gonna get through it, and don't nobody cut no onions, all right? It's quick. It says, hey buddy, just dropping a quick note to let you know, and I didn't get his permission to share this, so I won't say the name. Just dropping a quick note to let you know that me and my wife had a great time today at the All Clubs LA Champions Ride to the Korean Friendship Bell in San Pedro. It was easily the largest gathering of diversified bike riders I've been a part of. Some say they don't see color. I see nothing but color and love every second of it. Color of kits, color of bikes, but most importantly, colors of people. Everyone has their own color. I can't tell you how many times I overheard others talking about what an awesome event you and your team put on today and every day. Thanks to everyone traveling from near and far for all you contribute to your, not only to your community, but to all of us as individuals. Have a great time tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out and supporting this event tonight. Let's get this party started.
One quick announcement. The silent auction is still open. 2, you see this setup over here from Zwift. It's a Wahoo kicker, a mat, also the kicker climb. If you bought a ticket and your email is with us, we're gonna do a random draw and you're gonna win that. All right, so be on the lookout for that. No, not the bike. You gotta talk to Hazelini for that. That's her bike. Secondly, we're also offering 20% off the entire Zwift website. So if you want to go and shop at Zwift, we will send you a coupon code after this event, and you can go on Zwift.com/store and shop and get 20% off. All right, that's one of the things Zwift is offering. Thank you.
I lied. One last thing. All right, now remember earlier we talked about A, B, and C claps, as Glenn mentioned this evening. One last person I must mention. I consider them friends. I consider a lot of y'all friends. So that means you might get a phone call or a text or an email. I want to thank Velo Pasadena. They came here tonight, and they also brought with them $500 and $100 gift certificates, which have been donated to the Community Giants recipients, all right? So thank you, Haraj and Neverick, for that contribution. And ladies and gentlemen, the band Electrify. Let's go. You can dance.
Yes, you can. Come on down. You guys are amazing. Hearing all your stories, it's awesome. Let's do this. Do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was changing the minds of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts are ringing in the key that our souls are singing as we dance in the night. Remember how the stars stole the night away. Ah, ah, ah.
Peace.